Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we have another Raw review here from the 7th of April. We are so close to WrestleMania. This is what the second to last Raw before WrestleMania. We got a lot of stuff set in stone here, so let's just jump right into it. So, right off the bat, we had Io and Bianca doing their contract signing for the championship, and then Rhea also getting invited down there because Adam Pearce was going to add her to the triple threat. They did this in kind of a messy way over the last couple of weeks. I feel like they could have like maybe sharpened it up a little bit and not made it Bianca's fault as much because she kind of seems like the low-key villain in this whole thing. But I am excited that they finally finalized this as the triple threat. I think it was a good call. It's going to be the best match that they can have with having all three of them in there, and could probably be sneakily probably the best match of all like pure wrestling, I think, of WrestleMania, because it just has such a phenomenal strength and talent in this match. I'll put it up in A. I just like I said, I didn't really like how they got to this point, but I'm glad that they got to this point, and I like that Io is champion. I think her kind of being singled out and being like the forethought of being in the background, I think makes it really well, and makes her very dangerous because she has been showing that she should be the one that you think about the most. And that drop kick that she did to the back of Rhea Ripley that made her go into Bianca at the end of the segment was very cool. I really hope that's kind of like a move she does more often because it looked really good too. And yeah, I liked it. So then we also got told that we are going to have a fatal four-way for the IC title, which will be Dom versus Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor at WrestleMania. It's official. I kind of had a feeling this would be the match that they would end up picking. Um, Everybody else that was kind of in the IC title range is kind of gone away, so it made sense these being the people hovering around this title. And I'm glad that they finally pulled the trigger on it because I was surprised we didn't get the U.S. title having a multi-man match, but now the IC title having it, I think it's a good call. I think this is going to be a really good match, and I think it's one of those matches where there's legitimate claims that anybody could win this match. You can't tell me that there is a single person out of these four that really wouldn't get the call, because you got Penta, who's so hot right now and so over that like putting the title on him only makes sense to also show that to AEW talent that if they come over here, they're gonna more than likely get a title reign or get some really good, screen time. Then you got Finn Balor, who is obviously just one of those like talents that like obviously has been kind of, I guess like kind of back and back, like been looking like he's losing his stock, but this would bounce him back to being a pretty good thing. Plus, he's just kind of like sniveling and stuff that like he's gonna do whatever he can to keep that title if he gets it. Obviously, Braun Breaker being the rookie that's absolutely been destroying everybody, great person to keep the title on if they decide, but it's not necessary. And then Dom, who would get his first main roster title here, I think would also be to show all the good work that he's done over the last couple of years and the great heel work that he's done all that time. He kind of deserves the shot. So I think this was going to be a really good WrestleMania match. I'll put it up in S. Next up, we had the IC Women's Championship match. It was Bayley versus Lyra. This match itself just kind of felt a little off. I felt like I guess I was feeling more that something was going to major happen with Liv and Raquel because they kind of teased that, and then nothing happened, and it was just kind of a victory, which was just kind of weird because like they're going to be tag team partners for this gauntlet. So I don't know what the women's IC title like not history future has for the Royal Rumble. I have, or not Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. I have a feeling that it's not going to be a title match on there unless it's just a random set of her versus like Lyra versus somebody else. The match itself I thought was pretty good. We got to see some new stuff from Lyra. Bayley was pretty good in the ring also. So I'll put in a solid B. Good match. Deserved to be on the card. All that jazz. Next up, we had the LWO versus American Made with El Grande Americano instead of Chad Gable in his hometown. So that kind of sucked for Chad Gable. But this storyline in general, I think it's okay. I know a lot of people have been a little upset about it. I think it's not really hurting anybody, and I think eventually it should lead to at least something good for hopefully the LWO getting one over on Gable at some point. If that doesn't kind of where it leads and it kind of stays around too long, this could be bad. But hopefully right now it's okay. The match itself I thought was really good. The LWO always kind of shows out, especially like Joaquin Wild. Like they just need to give this man more time and give the LWO like a legitimate tag team. Like they always like, oh, tag team action, and they just use Ray and Dragon Lee. But I think they should just focus on Dragon Lee and Joaquin Wild as being the tag team aspect thing, and put Ray back into like the mid card and let him go after like the IC title or stuff like that, because Ray's a phenomenal Hall of Famer and stuff, but this the only way this group is going to continue to get over is if they let them do stuff like just let them do other stuff that doesn't have Rey Mysterio included, and let them have like the LWO in some type of tag team gauntlet for the Raw titles, because there's going to have to be something hopefully for Mania with them. But yeah, like I said, this match was good. I'd put it in A. The ending was a little interesting with him, with El Grande Americano cheating to win. I thought it was a nice touch to set up a future match that we'll talk about in a couple things. Then we had Gunther and Jay. This whole thing was phenomenal. I think this really felt to me that like this pushed Jay into like the category of like, I feel like he's legitimately could win this, and I think he definitely just, like he's like raw with his like promos and stuff, so like he really just needs to have that, and like he could be that fun loving guy but also be really serious. So I like this. It felt like this feud is just keeps heating up, so I'm gonna put it up in S tier. Next up, we were told that Rey Mysterio and El Grande Americano is going to have a WrestleMania match. I think this is pretty good. I like this idea, and I think it's good for both wrestlers. So I'll put it in A. Not like it's like super excited that I have to have this match, but I'm not upset that it's on the card. Next up, we had the tag team championship match, which was the New Day versus the War Raiders. This match actually was really cooking for a long time, but like I just don't understand why the New Day got disqualified. Like I know they wanted to do the damage to the War Raiders afterwards, but they're not gonna probably get a like a rematch, so it's like kind of an odd thing. I don't know. I mean, I guess they have something planned, but it felt kind of dumb to a certain extent. So the New Day obviously lost here and beat up the War Raiders afterwards. I don't really know what the Raw men's tag division is doing at the moment. With having this, kind of felt like a step back again, and it feels like there's nothing for the War Raiders at WrestleMania, unless it's just going to be something completely random that has really nothing to do with anything, because if they reface the New Day, it doesn't quite make sense. And if they do like a multi-team thing, it's going to be kind of just a match to have a match. But I guess we'll see. They still got one more week, so maybe they can figure something out. I'll put this match in B. I think it could have definitely had a better ending, but I think the match itself wasn't that bad. Then we had Dom and Penta. I think this was just another really just solid match. Obviously, Penta has been having nothing but star-studded things. We had after the match, Braun Breaker coming down to, I wouldn't even say save Penta, but just I guess to go after Dom. And he takes out Dom and Penta, and he gave the nastiest spear to Carlito. Like if we added that part as part of this match would be definitely rated higher. And then obviously then Finn Balor had the upper hand after all of that as he took out Braun Breaker. I do like this quadruple threat or fatal four way. I think it's going to be a pretty fun match. I put this match up in B. I thought it was pretty solid. Definitely could have used a little bit more time on it. I think like they definitely had some in-ring chemistry. They just needed to explore it more. Then we have the main event. It started with Paul Heyman coming down, talking about WrestleMania, then gets interrupted by Seth Rollins talking about the favor and all that. Honestly, I feel like it's kind of this feud's like good without having all this favor and other stuff. I guess there might be something bigger coming, so I guess we're just gonna have to keep on our seatbelts and see what happens. But I just thought it was kind of dumb, and then like, Seth Rollins threatening Paul Heyman and being like, you gotta, what is it going to take for me to do something to for CM Punk to come down, and then eventually Punk comes down and Rollins gets the upper hand, and then he goes to take out Heyman, but he's like, no, you owe me a favor. It's kind of weird. Like I don't think that's how favor work. Well, you owe me a favor because I didn't take you out. Like again, I feel like you were kind of hinting at before that like if I took you out, you'd have an easier time and wouldn't have to be in anybody's corner, but I don't know. I felt like it was a little odd, but it's still vibing with the feud in general. I just think this segment to me felt a little flat. But overall, pretty good Raw. I'd probably put it in like the high B range, which is always really good for the TV shows. To me, I feel like if your TV shows like are B or above, and like most of your segments are in B or above, I think you're doing pretty good. Obviously, there's a lot of matches that are going to be one of those where they're setting up a bunch of fans to try to figure out WrestleMania, and that's what this show definitely felt like. And I'm cool with it because it seemed overall pretty decent. But until next time, this has been Japan. We do Raw reviews every day after Raw. We also have Evolve reviews after Evolve, so that's on Thursday. The review will be up, and then SmackDown's on Saturday. So we do all that. NXT sometimes I do every once in a while when we have bigger shows. I just don't tend to do the week to week. But if you guys are enjoying this, definitely give me a like, comment, subscribe so I know that you guys are enjoying it. And check out all the edits. We've been doing a lot of WrestleMania edits that my partner's been making that are pretty fun. They're in the short section on this channel. But until then, it's been Japan. Bye, guys.